Most people don't realize that the biggest battle they will ever fight is not with the world, not with their circumstances, not with their enemies, but with their own mind. Every single day, a silent war is happening inside your head. One voice tells you to move forward, to take risks, to grow, to become someone great. The other voice whispers fear, doubt, excuses, and comfort. And the truth is, the direction of your life depends on which voice you choose to listen to. Mentally strong people are not born different. They simply learn how to control that inner voice instead of being controlled by it. If you want to become mentally stronger than 99% of people, you must first understand this. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but if you don't train it, it becomes your greatest weakness. Look around you. Why do most people stay average their entire lives? It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they don't have opportunities. It's because they quit in their minds long before they ever quit in real life. The moment things get uncomfortable, they retreat. The moment they face rejection, they stop trying. The moment failure shows up, they assume it means they are not good enough. But mentally strong individuals see discomfort as a signal for growth. They understand that every challenge is shaping them into someone more powerful. Pain is not their enemy, it is their teacher. You must train yourself to stay calm in situations where others panic. Anyone can remain positive when life is easy. Anyone can smile when things are going their way. But what about when everything falls apart? What about when the plan fails? When people doubt you? When results don't come? When you feel exhausted and invisible? That is where mental strength is built. Not in comfort, but in chaos. Not in success, but in struggle. One of the biggest shifts you must make is to stop seeking approval from others. The majority of people are mentally weak because their happiness depends on someone else's opinion. If people clap, they feel worthy. If people criticize, they feel broken. But listen carefully. The moment you stop needing validation is the moment you become dangerous in the best possible way. Because now you are free. Free to chase goals others don't understand. Free to walk paths others are too afraid to take. Free to become someone rare. Understand this clearly. You cannot control what people say about you, but you can control how you respond. When someone doubts you, let it fuel you. When someone underestimates you, let it sharpen your focus. When someone walks away from your life, let it teach you independence. Mentally strong people don't waste energy trying to control the external world. They master their internal world. Another truth most people avoid is responsibility. It is very easy to blame your past, your parents, your finances, your bad luck, or the unfairness of life. Blame gives temporary comfort, but it steals your power. The strongest individuals adopt a different mindset. They say, no matter what happened, my future is still in my hands. That attitude alone separates the top 1% from everyone else. You must also become comfortable being alone. Growth often requires isolation. There will be seasons in your life where you outgrow certain environments, conversations, and even relationships. And during that time, loneliness might visit you. But don't confuse loneliness with weakness. Sometimes being alone is where you discover your real strength. It is where you learn to rely on yourself, trust yourself, and motivate yourself without constant encouragement. Discipline is another pillar of mental strength. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you wake up energized, but many days you won't feel like doing anything. That is normal. Mentally strong people don't wait for motivation. They create habits that carry them forward even when emotions are low. They show up when it's inconvenient. They work when it's boring. They continue when progress feels slow. Remember this: consistency beats intensity. Small actions repeated daily build an unstoppable mindset. You also need to change how you see failure. Society teaches us to fear it, avoid it, hide from it. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is they didn't internalize failure as their identity. They treated it as feedback. When something didn't work, they adjusted and tried again. Fear will try to stop you many times in your life. Fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, fear of not being ready, fear of making the wrong decision. But here's something powerful to remember. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. Every time you act while scared, your mind expands. Every time you avoid something because of fear, your world shrinks. Protect your mental space as if your life depends on it, because it does. Be careful what you consume daily. Negative news, toxic conversations, constant comparison on social media. All of it slowly weakens your mindset. You cannot fill your mind with negativity and expect to live a powerful life. Feed your brain with growth, knowledge, and inspiration. Patience is another rare trait that mentally strong people master. We live in a world obsessed with instant results. Everyone wants success quickly, transformation overnight, recognition immediately. But real strength is built slowly. Like a muscle, your mind strengthens through repetition, pressure, and time. Do not quit just because the results are not visible yet. Roots grow before trees. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. Moments when the dream feels too far away. Moments when nobody seems to notice your effort. In those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remember the version of you that refused to settle for an ordinary life. That person still exists inside you. And most importantly, stop talking yourself out of greatness. Many people destroy their own potential through negative self-talk. They say things like, "I'm not smart enough. I always mess things up. Success is for other people." But your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. Replace those thoughts with stronger ones. Tell yourself, "I will figure it out. I am growing. I am becoming stronger every day." Mental strength also means emotional control. Not suppressing emotions, but not being ruled by them either. You will feel anger, sadness, jealousy, frustration. That is part of being human, but you must learn to pause before reacting. A calm mind makes better decisions than an emotional one. Never forget, hard times do not last, but strong people do. Every difficulty you survive builds evidence in your mind that you are capable. Over time, you stop fearing storms because you realize you have already weathered so many. The goal is not to become fearless. The goal is to become resilient, to know that no matter what happens, you will adapt, learn, and continue forward. And the moment you fully understand that your mind is something you can train, everything changes. At some point in life, you must make a decision that separates you from the majority. You must decide that no matter how hard it gets, quitting is no longer an option. Because the reality is, most people don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they stop too soon. They underestimate how close they are to a breakthrough simply because the road becomes uncomfortable. But mentally strong people understand something powerful. Pressure is not there to destroy you. It is there to reveal you. Just like diamonds are created under extreme pressure, the strongest version of yourself is built when life tests you the most. You have to train your mind to stop running away from difficulty. When something feels hard, your brain automatically looks for escape routes. It wants comfort, familiarity, and safety. That is how humans are wired. But growth never lives inside comfort zones. Every new level of your life will demand a stronger version of you. If you avoid challenges, you avoid transformation. Start leaning into the discomfort instead of resisting it. When you willingly do hard things, your confidence stops being fake. It becomes earned. Another trait that separates mentally strong individuals from everyone else is emotional independence. This means you do not allow your mood to be controlled by external events. If someone praises you, you appreciate it, but you don't rely on it. If someone criticizes you, you evaluate it without letting it crush your spirit. Your emotional state becomes self-directed rather than externally driven. Imagine how powerful it is to wake up every day knowing that your peace is not in someone else's hands. Rejection is another area where mental strength is forged. Most people are terrified of being told no. They see rejection as humiliation. But what if you started seeing rejection as redirection? Every no is simply guiding you toward a better opportunity, a better fit, or a stronger approach. The people who win in life are not the ones who avoid rejection. They are the ones who become immune to it. They ask anyway. They try anyway. They show up anyway. You must also stop over-identifying with your past. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you wasted time. Maybe you failed publicly. But your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Mentally strong people do not carry their past like chains. They carry it like wisdom. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know before. Growth begins the moment you stop punishing yourself for being human. Let's talk about self-respect, because without it, mental strength cannot exist. Self-respect is built through the promises you keep to yourself. Every time you say you will wake up early and you do it, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you say you will finish something and you follow through, your identity shifts. But when you constantly break your own promises, your brain learns that your words have no value. Start small if you must, but start keeping your word to yourself. Confidence is nothing more than stacked evidence that you can trust who you are. There will be people who misunderstand your journey. Some will question your decisions. Others may even mock your ambition because it reflects the risks they were too afraid to take. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You were not born to blend in. You were born to become. And becoming requires courage. The courage to be different, the courage to be misunderstood, and sometimes the courage to walk alone. Mentally strong people also master the art of delayed gratification. They are willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term greatness. While others chase distractions, they stay focused. While others choose what is easy, they choose what is necessary. Understand this clearly. Your future is created by what you do today, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Another mindset shift you must adopt is learning how to detach from outcomes while staying committed to effort. Obsessing over results creates anxiety. Obsessing over effort creates progress. You cannot always control when success arrives, but you can control your preparation, your work ethic, and your persistence. Show up daily. Improve daily. Let success catch up to you. Comparison is a silent destroyer of mental strength. The moment you start measuring your life against someone else's timeline, you invite unnecessary frustration. Someone will always be ahead in some area of life, but someone else is also looking at you wishing they had your strength. Stay in your lane. Your only competition should be the person you were yesterday. Gratitude is another overlooked source of mental power. When your mind is constantly focused on what is missing, you train it to live in dissatisfaction. But when you appreciate what you already have, you create emotional stability. Gratitude does not mean you stop striving for more. It means you pursue more from a place of abundance rather than emptiness. You must also learn when to let go. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every person deserves access to your life. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. Mentally strong people understand that where attention goes, life flows. So they invest their energy wisely. Let's be honest. There will be days when your mind becomes your worst enemy. Days filled with doubt, overthinking, and invisible pressure. On those days, simplify everything. Focus on one task, one step, one positive action. Momentum is powerful, even when it starts small. Remember that discipline is a form of self-love. It may feel strict in the moment, but it creates freedom in the long run. The freedom to live without regret. The freedom to look back proudly. The freedom to know you did not waste your potential. And here is something most people learn too late. You don't need to feel ready to begin. Readiness is a myth. Action creates readiness. Confidence is built by doing, not waiting. Train your mind to see obstacles as training grounds. Every difficult conversation strengthens your voice. Every setback strengthens your patience. Every responsibility strengthens your character. Over time, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" The strongest people are not those who never break. They are the ones who rebuild themselves stronger each time they do. So when life challenges you next, do not ask for it to be easier. Ask for yourself to be stronger. Because the truth is, you are far more capable than you have allowed yourself to believe. And once you truly realize that, you become unstoppable. Never forget that mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build, choice by choice, day by day. Every moment you refuse to give up, every time you silence the voice that tells you, "I can't," you are rewiring your brain for resilience. Understand this clearly. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly tell yourself that life is unfair, that you are unlucky, that success is for other people, your brain will search for proof to confirm that story. But the moment you start telling yourself, "I will figure this out. I will grow through this. I am stronger than this situation," your brain begins working in your favor instead of against you. One of the biggest turning points in your life will come when you stop waiting for motivation and start operating from commitment. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes depending on how you feel. Commitment, on the other hand, is a decision. It means you show up whether you feel inspired or not. The gym does not care about your mood. Your goals do not care about your excuses. Success rewards consistency, not emotion. There is also a powerful shift that happens when you stop fearing loneliness. Many people stay in environments that weaken them simply because they are afraid to stand alone. But solitude is often where the strongest minds are built. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you stop chasing validation. You stop needing approval. You stop negotiating your worth. And that is the moment you become dangerous, not to others, but to the limitations that once controlled your life. You must become very selective about what you allow into your mind. Just as your body reflects what you eat, your mind reflects what you consume mentally. Constant negativity, gossip, comparison, and meaningless distractions will slowly erode your inner strength. But books that challenge you, conversations that inspire you, and content that expands your perspective will sharpen your thinking. Guard your mind like it is your greatest asset, because it is. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear never fully disappears, no matter how strong you become. The difference is that mentally strong people do not obey their fear. They feel it, acknowledge it, and move forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. Every time you act despite being scared, your comfort zone expands. And once it expands, it never returns to its original size. Another truth you must accept is that not everyone will grow with you. As you evolve, your standards will rise, your habits will change, your mindset will mature. And sometimes the people who were once part of your everyday life will no longer align with the person you are becoming. This is not a tragedy. It is a natural part of transformation. Do not slow down your growth just to maintain outdated connections. Mentally strong people also stop blaming circumstances. Yes, some people start ahead. Yes, some journeys are harder than others. But blaming your situation keeps you powerless, while taking responsibility puts you back in control control. Responsibility is not about self-blame. It is about recognizing that your next step is always yours to choose. Patience is another form of strength that most people underestimate. We live in a world obsessed with instant results, but real transformation takes time. There will be seasons when it feels like nothing is changing. Keep going anyway. Seeds grow in silence. Progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Do not be discouraged if your growth feels slow. Slow growth is still growth. What matters is that you do not stop. And while you are climbing toward your goals, remember this: rest is not weakness. Mentally strong people understand the difference between quitting and recovering. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to regain your energy. Burning out helps no one. Sustainable strength comes from balance. At some point, you must stop doubting whether you have what it takes. Look at everything you have already survived. The hard days you thought would break you. The moments you believed you wouldn't recover from. Yet here you are, still standing, stronger, wiser, more prepared than you realize. Start seeing yourself through the lens of capability rather than limitation. Your thoughts shape your identity. Your identity shapes your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. So if you want a powerful life, you must build a powerful mind. Refuse to be controlled by temporary emotions. Refuse to be defined by past failures. Refuse to settle for a version of yourself that you know is not your highest potential. Instead, become the person who does hard things without needing to be told. Become the person who stays calm in chaos. Become the person who finishes what they start. Become the person who keeps moving forward while others are still making excuses. Because here is the truth most people never fully accept. Your limits are far higher than you think. Most people quit at 40% of their capability, not because their body is exhausted, but because their mind is trying to protect them from discomfort. But if you push just a little further, you enter a space where confidence is no longer forced. It becomes natural. Imagine what your life looks like when setbacks no longer shake you, when criticism no longer defines you, when fear no longer stops you. That is the power of mental strength. It gives you emotional stability in an unstable world. From this moment forward, make a quiet promise to yourself. No more shrinking, no more doubting, no more living below your potential. When things get difficult, and they will, remind yourself that pressure is building someone extraordinary. Years from now, you will either thank yourself for staying disciplined or regret that you chose comfort over growth. That decision is being made daily, in the small moments no one sees. Do not wait for a perfect time. Perfect times do not exist. Start where you are, use what you have, become stronger one decision at a time. And always remember this powerful truth. You do not rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your mental strength. So train your mind, protect your focus, raise your standards, and refuse under any circumstance to give up on the person you are capable of becoming. Because the moment your mind becomes stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fears, stronger than your past, that is the moment you stop being average. That is the moment you separate yourself from 99% of people. And that is the moment your life truly begins.